attending this kickoff campaign for the campaign for Sean Navin for Ward 6 City Council. Sean has actually asked me to say a few words for him, nice words. And I feel very humbled by it, because I feel that, you know, I've spent the last 18 years on the city council in the seat of Ward 6, and I'm looking toward December 31st, and I will be going out the door. And I want to make sure that there is somebody that's going to be sitting in my seat that will be would exemplify all the things that I feel that a city council would have. But I think you all understand the Navin name. The Navin name is long synonymous for the political scene in the city of Marlborough. If you go all the way back, I go back to my youth when there was John Shag Navin, who was the state representative. That's Sean's grandfather.
Yes.
Then after him came along his father, Joe Navin. Joe served on the city council as a councilor at large, and then he went on to be the state rep for many years. Then, of course, along comes this girl pulls in beside me, Mara Navin Webster, representing the Ward 5. Mara's somewhere around here. Thank you, Mara. So in other words, the name Navin is well known in the city of Marlborough, and I think it's only fitting that Sean moves into another seat and continues the legacy of the family. You have to understand that I get to know Sean back when he was in high school. What can I say about Sean? Sean was he was actually a great kid. He was
Yes.
believe it or not, he was actually a pretty serious individual when he was there. He was the president. He was on the student council. He was the president of the student council. He was also in the student leadership council. He had those. So he has council in his background. So him running for city council is probably a good thing. You all remember when Sean, or you'll take a look at him right now. I actually remember Sean when he had hair. Pass this around, and you can all visualize what Sean looked like back when he was in high school, because this is from his high school yearbook. This was the banner page that his parents put into the yearbook when he graduated.
Worth every penny.
Pass that around.
Did you get it off the post office wall?
Now, after Sean graduated from Marlborough High School, you know, he actually moved on. He went to Stonehill College. He graduated from there, and his major was in political science and government. After that, you know, he went to UMass Boston and graduated with an MPA, which is a Master's in Public Administration. So, it's saying an awful lot about his background and his knowledge of government. And this is what we need for people in City Hall, in government. We need a person that has vision, and Sean has. After he graduated from Stonehill College, I'm just going to go down through a few things here. He was the district rep for Congressman Jim McGovern for like 3 years. Legislative liaison for the Mass Department of Conservation and Recreation for a couple of years. Department of Policy Director for Governor Deval Patrick. He was up in the governor's office. And was acting Secretary of Legislative Affairs in the Office of Energy and Environmental Affairs for 4 years. Now he's the Director of Governmental Affairs at the NWRA. He started that in 2015, he's still there. So in other words, he has an idea of what things that need to be done. as you know, I'm retiring. Retiring, I'll be out of there, I'll be out of City Hall on December 31st. And be one of those bittersweet days, you know. I've done it for such a long time, you know. And I hate to say that I'm not going to miss it, but I am going to miss it to a point. You have to understand that when you're in office, you rely upon your spouse, your partner, because they're the ones that have to bear the load with you as you go through. Jess, I wish you well. My wife Barbara's here. She's the one that's had to prepare the meals early for me on the Monday nights, and also the evenings when I have subcommittee meetings. So she, you know, it's a family thing, and you know, you and Dad, hopefully. But it was a chance encounter back several years ago. Maura and I were talking on the main street one night after a city council meeting, and Sean was there. And Sean mentioned to me one time, he says, if you're ever not going to run for office, let me know. And I said, okay, I'll keep that in mind. So I did. So, you know, I pulled papers in the fall, not knowing what was going to happen. So I pulled my papers and I put them. I never went around and gathered any signatures because you never can tell what's going to happen. But what I did do is that I waited to see if anybody was going to run and pull papers against me. I don't know if I scared them off or they were very happy with me being there.
You're Mr. Clancy.
I did have a conversation with Nancy Stevens. I asked Nancy if she was interested in it. Nancy, of course, has a very important job at the Department of Public Utilities. You know, she is a very busy person. And we also have another interesting thing. There are three councilors that are actually reside in Ward 6. Katie Roby, myself, and Mark Oram. Of course, you have to understand, when I ran for office, I defeated Mark Oram by 14 votes. They called me landslide. So, after not knowing what was going to happen, I contacted Sean, and I said, Sean, are you serious about running for office? And he said, yes. And he says, let me check with Jess first. And I guess okay, let's go. And so, you know, I'm very proud to say that that Sean is going to be running for my office. He does have competition, and never can tell what's going to happen. That's why it's good to have support. That's why everybody here has to be a supporter for Sean. Signs, letting other people know. Ward 6 is a very large area. It goes all the way from Route 20 by Osmond Street, all the way to Hudson, all the way up over by the hospital, all the way to Hudson. It's all of the other side of Fort Meadow. So, you know, it's a pretty large area that I represent right now. One of the things that I feel that I sat down, I tried to figure out what Sean could bring to the council. Youthful energy. Youthful energy, that's where I feel that he will start. Moral excellence. Knowledge of the political process. Very important. Dutiful of constituent needs. You have to answer the phone, you have to answer and figure out what people need. There are lots of phone calls. You have to be reachable, and you have to be responsive. You have to be visible. You have to be confident and articulate. You have to be intellectual, which you are. You have to pay attention to detail. There's a lot of things that happen up in the council chamber. You have to have a curiosity. You have to be organized. You have to be adaptable. You have to have sound judgment. And you have to be financially prudent. You know, it's not a giveaway. You know, when you have the budget roll around in May, it's a process, and everybody has to go through it, and every counselor is involved in the process. Councilor Roby knows that very well, she's on the finance committee. But I just want to let you know, Sean, a few bits of wisdom that I have gleaned through the years. The possible can turn into the impossible. Certainty can become the uncertain. Reasonable individuals can become very unreasonable. I know that one. And intelligence can become nonsensical. So these are the things that I hope you carry to the council and remember. And I look forward to this coming fall in this election cycle. It's always interesting to see what happens. Ladies and gentlemen, I'm going to take great pleasure in introducing the next councilor for Ward 6, Sean Neighbor.